What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Call of Duty Rec League Bravo stream, and tonight we have some banger matches. We're starting off on Gold North Premade with Paris Letdown and Dallas Flat Tires, and we are currently underway.
Yes, we absolutely are. My mic working now. It was not working for just a second. But, first week of playoffs, Brendy, this is a serious matchup, and we're starting it out on good old Mercado Las Almas. And Flub season with a great couple of kills off the break, but it's going to be Paris getting a good majority of this time here.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's actually a really nice amount of time so far for Paris. 25 seconds on the first hard point is not easy to get, and they're actually going to get a little bit more. So, nice opening break. It really just seemed like Dallas, their full focus was they were really on those P2 spawns, which is it's good for them. They're going to have a nice setup on that money hill, but yeah, it's Paris right now with the early lead.
Yes, absolutely. Honestly, a great start for them. A lot of people, they don't like to play these those
Yeah.
P1s and focus on those P2s, but Paris able to do so, and they get a good chunk of time off of it, so they have a couple of hits before Dallas is able to tie this game up. They're having a good push here from the hedge side of things. Carbos trying to hold it down, big two-piece at a Carbos, and now Paris back in their spawn on a 5 as well.
It was an interesting play for Paris there. It seemed like they were kind of all just full stacking over towards the hedge side. Would you have liked to see something different there? Like maybe have one go back alley through tunnels? Like I'm not sure.
I think, it was a good push, but I think it just comes down to Carbos picking out that big two-piece. It's like, it really comes down to the trades. It's like a hit can be perfect, but if somebody makes a big play like Carbos did right there, then it's really hard to break in, and that's kind of what this game comes down to. Very fundamental game, I feel like this game is. So, when those big two-piece happens, they're pretty impactful as long as the opposition isn't able to, bounce back with a two-piece of their own.
That's true. And looking at this hill, I can speak from experience. I don't know if this is the same story for you, but this particular hill right here, P3, I think is one of the hardest hills on this map to break because there's so, like, while there's a decent amount of entryways, there's also a lot of different areas where you can get picked off if you're trying to break it. And especially from a distance, I think it's one of the toughest hills to break, and that's exactly why Paris is getting the majority of the time.
Yeah, I mean, Paris really like mowing down the opposition here on that tin hill, and I think you're right. I think a lot of these hills in Mercado, you need those really strong, coordinated team pushes to be able to break a lot of these hills. We see the same thing on, both of those tin hills. I would say the outside tin hill a little easier to break, but, green side as well, and even a hill like this, it's like, it's just really so hard to get across this map. Kind of, I would say more of a linear 3-lane map for this game. And, with how powerful the Scar is, it's just so hard to sneak on those lanes.
Yeah, it's not really too often that nowadays in Call of Duty that we get those sort of simplified 3-lane maps. I mean, I say simplified, like even this map isn't really like a really simple 3-lane map. Like there's still a lot of different lanes and areas you can travel to. And the funny thing about this hill is I feel like it's either impossible to break or like incredibly scrappy. There's like no in between, and it's like right now. Looks like right now it's being a little difficult to break, but Dallas they're gonna be able to take the lead here. It looks like.
Yeah, I should be able to get the scrap time, get that 10-point lead, and they have a good amount of time. They have nice presence over here at that tin side of the map. We got player 7 playing his life. He's actually a huge catalyst here. If they're not able to kill him off this first push, I'm not sure Giannis is going to be ready for him. He's not. He's able to get one. He picks up the second as well on a 3 streak, and now they kind of have to get him out of here. He jumps on in out himself, but Sky's able to pick up the trade. And honestly, a great push out of Dallas, and you saw that player that was Avecti. He was able to really break things on his own right there.
Yeah, Sky right now is going to be the player to watch right now for Dallas as he is currently top fragging. Let's see if he's able to build up any streaks. So right now, Atrocities is on one of his own as well. But Paris are not really able to get anywhere close to this hill. And it looks like any sort of push is going to come through P1. And it looks like now is their chance. Paris wants to get any time here.
Yeah, that player 6, he ends up dying in that bottom 10 area. But, he's able to rotate to that new hill with his team. And so, Paris able to get that scrap time, but this is going to be another hill where, the green hill is quite locked down. I'm not sure first time around. I'm pretty sure it was this Dallas Flat Tires team first time around who were rotated early. And right now it's Carbos. It's that player that got that big two-piece to open things up. He's 14-6 right now, him and Sky, really being those X-factor players for Dallas and, you know, kind of propelled them to this 40-point lead. On the other side, you know, we have BJ Davis really trying to make his plays. He's got a cruise missile in his back pocket, but he's really got no teammates here to help him out. He has one next to him in Clam Chowder. He's able to get one. He goes for the trade. Carbos there, still alive, and another big two-piece out of Carbos to hold down that hill. 16-6 right here with the Vaz. And when your sub player is playing like this, you can just see the amount of impact they're creating on the map.
Yeah, this is a chance right now for Dallas to extend their lead. Paris, they're trying to get in. They're trying to make things a little bit scrappy, but it seems like right now they're just a little staggered from each other, a little bit out of position. And right now they're pushing this hill with 10 seconds left. I'm not entirely sure if they really need to do that, especially going into this next hill. I mean, Dallas, they are already set up next. I mean, Sky, he's going to get the... Well, I say he's going to get the scraps, but Johnson's going to get it instead. But either way, I mean, they're... I think Paris, they probably just need to slow down a little bit because it seems like Dallas is getting all these early breaks.
Yeah, we see player 8 in kind of a good spot to pinch here, shake things up a little bit. He's able to take down Sky, and now they kind of have a pinch here. Oh, the Vaznev runs out of bullets, and now it's kind of Carbos all alone on the hill. He gets one, he gets taken down. So, you know, a good break out of Paris Letdowns. If that player 8, I think it was Sky who was pinching there, is able to get 2, that really shakes things up. But instead, they're able to flip this out. Dallas Flat Tires quickly trying to find their way back into this. And, you know, if you are going to find your way back into this, now wouldn't be the worst time to do so. If you get this last 20, you're within around 40 points. You can really play for that P1. And, you know, just hope you get one of those good rotations. You know, that's kind of the name of the game here on Mercado. It's like you expect there's going to be a team that rotates well every time, or who's set up for the new rotation. And it's really up to who can get one of those very impactful breaks to kind of win the game here. And this game's definitely in striking distance as long as Paris can keep it close on this P1.
Yeah, and honestly, that was quietly actually a really solid hill for Paris. I mean, Dallas, they like I said, they had the early rotation, but Paris actually broke through quite quickly. And if I'm Paris, you know, you got to try to hold these P2 spawns. As Carbos right now, he's going to try to make a play for them, but even if you're trying to hold these P2 spawns, if you're Paris, you still have to worry a little bit about this time on P1 as well, because remember Dallas, they had over 30 points in their first P1, and they could easily do that again. Man, Dallas, they're making a hard push for these P2 spawns, and honestly, they might be able to get them.
Yeah, Clam Chowder, really the one player who can shake things up here for Paris. I think it's very important for him to play his life here, and he gets taken down by Atrocities. That's definitely a gunfight you would want back. Now it's going to be Paris. You see them all spawning up toward that tin area. They do have a push brewing right now, and it's going to be coming in through this hedge side of the map, but Sky is going to be the player to kind of shut this down. He regens that health, and now he's ready to maybe pop 1 or 2. He does end up getting 1. They know where the push is coming from. The rest of the Paris Letdowns, though, they have a 3 line of sight toward this hill. Atrocities, though, he's the last one alive. Clam Chowder looking for the trade onto him. He is able to get it. A big early break for Paris Letdowns, but they're going to have to hold the rest of this time as Dallas are within 30 of the W here on map 1.
Yeah, and it really looks like, I mean, look how far away Dallas is. It doesn't even look like they may honestly be considering getting rid of this hill, because I mean, with all due respect, I mean they're up by 60 points right now. They know they only need just one solid hold on the very next one to take the dub here, and it looks like that's exactly what they're gonna do. Flub season gonna slow them down a little bit, but Dallas, they still do have those closer spawns for now.
Yeah, it's going to be a big fight here on the new hill. This might change the game here if for whoever wins this. Carbos here. He's in bottom 10, though. He gets taken down just like that. Very early break for Paris Letdowns. That's a very quick 4 down. And now they're going to be on the hill. They're going to be ready to go. And all of these Dallas Flat Tires players are going to have to cross past BJ Davis's star. And he is able to get 2 there. He's holding him so far away from the hill right now. He does get taken down, but now you're going to have to get a second wave of kills on the time. Flub season holding down that mid. He does get traded out, and now the push comes in for the rest of the squad.
Man, Dallas has not been able to get anywhere near this hill. This was a perfect break for Paris. And they're going to be getting very close to the lead. In fact, they're actually going to be able to take the lead on this hill right now. But meanwhile, there's a gunfight going on that back alley on the new hill between number 3 and number 5, Flub and Carbos. Is Carbos going to be able to hold it? Let's see. He's going to get double pushed. And there you go. Paris looks looks like,
Oh.
well, right as I say that, wow, I am jinxing it hard here.
It happens from time to time. The caster curse is some serious business, Brendy. We all know and love it. But now, Dallas Flat Tires within 20 of winning here. The Paris Letdowns within 10. One break, and they might be able to make this happen, but it's going to be oh so hard on this back Barber Hill. Clam Chowder's going to be pushing from this green side. He is able to get one. Slow the pressure right now, but there's only 10 seconds left to go. He picks up the Vaznev. What can he do with it? He does get one. There's one more in front of him, though, and that might do it for Dallas Flat Tires. They end up winning the game 240 to 250, and Brendy, I mean, that was a close one.
It really was, and it really was I really think it was Sky and Carbos that were the two difference makers for Dallas. I mean, they played absolutely well in Paris. They did a good job, making it interesting towards the end.
Dallas Flat Tires was able to take it home off of their slang power, off of their fantastic first rotation of hills. Paris looking to bounce back here in the Search and Destroy.
Look what Dallas is doing right away. They're going to go for that deep push. It looks like it's going to be a pretty fast one as well. Man, I don't know if Paris is going to be ready for this.
Dallas do get the first blood as well behind it. They're not ready for it whatsoever. They get that kill on the A side of the map, and Dallas don't even seem to be very much so worried about the idea of them planning B, but now they do. Sky can be ready for the rotation. You see those two Paris letdown arrows. They are looking that direction, but Carbos has not made his way off of the site just yet. BJ Davis is able to pick up one big one. As I say that, it looks like the Paris letdowns are starting to make moves in toward that bomb site.
Really big kill from Johnson on the Sky there. Now window is open for Paris if they want the retake. It looks like Clam Chowder able to slip through. Now it's a 1v2 Carbos on bomb.
He gets stunned, he gets naded, he gets stunned a second time, and there it goes. Great collapse out of the Paris letdowns. They took their time, and they used as much as they needed exactly. Only 2 seconds left remaining for them to defuse that bomb, so great plays out of Paris letdowns. I mean, I feel like Dallas played that almost as good as they possibly could. Just a couple little mishaps, and they end up losing the round off of a great Paris retake.
Yeah, honestly, that was a really nice retake. I mean, I was looking at the clock the whole time, and I was like, man, I don't know if they're going to have any time at all. And actually, I thought Dallas, for the most part, was positioned pretty well after that bomb plant. But, I mean, it was Paris with the gunfights at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, they did a great job of it. Now, you kind of put the pressure on the Dallas Flat Tires to win a round of your own on the defensive end. You don't want Paris to catch too much steam here in the Search and Destroy. And it doesn't look like they know exactly where they want to go yet. Maybe leaning toward that A side, obviously, but kind of just playing for a pick here. Sky does show himself on that balcony side, but Flub Season trying to sneak on across. He does have some sort of an opening, but he's kind of stuck there. They do see him cross, and now he's kind of the X-Factor player, the impact player for Paris. He really does need to make something happen.
Yeah, but at Paris, they're playing this really slowly. Flub knows that there's someone up barbecue. I mean, man, I'm kind of tempted if I'm him to just slowly crawl up to that door and just close it again. But he's actually going to probably catch that guy by surprise. That's a Vecti. So nice plays out of Flub. Just extreme patience from him.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want to do. I mean, he makes them, a little bit worried in that top pool, or that top, spawn area, that top grill. And he uses it to their perfection. We wait for them to come to him, and he's able to get a pick off of it. The snipe does come in from the other side. Crossy's trying to put in some fire, but that's a tough gunfight against the Scar. Now it's Sky left all alone. 1v3 needing to get the defuse as well. Only 25 seconds left to go. He does spot Clam Chowder. There's still 2 more to get. It isn't planted for top, so that does help you out somewhat. But as BJ Davis picks up the kill, Paris letdowns get a second one on the board.
Yep, and again, it really seemed like the slow play worked really well for Paris. They didn't get aggressive. They didn't get overly pushy, and they got that opening pick onto Vecti, onto barbecue, and that basically just opened things up for them.
That's exactly what they did, no doubt about it. Now, Dallas Flat Tires in kind of a tough spot. You say you wanted to win an offense or a defense. And now you're down 0-2 on the offensive end. You're really, fiending for one of these rounds to go your way. This is kind of, we're not in must-win territory just yet, but we are, getting ever so close to it, especially when Paris is getting so aggressive in your top pool area. You got Flub Season getting quick yet again. Clam Chowder picks up another one of their own. The trade comes in onto BJ Davis, but Flub Season looking for another one off the back. He spots Atrocities, he picks him up with some crisp shots. Now in a 1v3 situation for Sky, and I mean, that round just it broke down so quickly, Brady.
Yeah, it really seems like, for the most part, that Dallas Flat Tires have kind of lost control of the tempo. I mean, originally in that first round, it seemed like, oh, like they're coming out hot, they're going to be playing fast. But, I mean, Paris has basically done everything they need to basically take the tempo back into their hands. And, I mean, that's a perfect example. I mean, you played slow on offense on round 2, and then round 3, you just come out guns a-blazing. I don't think they were expecting it at all.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it. I mean, Dallas Flat Tires, you know, very heavily leaning toward that top pool area, and, you know, Paris Letdowns are just able to work all the way around it. They go up the balcony side, they go up the alleyway side, and, you know, the whole map is just open at that point. So much control. So now Paris Letdowns trying to get another round on the board. BJ Davis looking for a first pick. Lost that player in the kegs area. Big turn and burn with the drop shot. And now you just play your life. You get another first blood behind it, and you're trying to isolate Carbos. Another 1v3. I mean, Paris is just working so fast here in these rounds.
They really are, but Atrocities, it was able to make it a 1v1, a technical 1v3 if he's able to get this. But right now, that bomb is down, and BJ Davis is in a really good position here. I think he has a rough idea of where Atrocities is, but let's see what happens.
He must hear the door bust here. Atrocities doesn't know it, but he can actually hop on that defuse right now.
I think Davis may have just seen him.
The dead silence does run out. BJ Davis checks the bomb and runs on away. 15 seconds left to go. He does have to check the bomb one more time, but will Atrocities be ready for it? I don't think he will have enough time to do it here. He jumps onto that bomb side, and he takes him down. Paris Letdowns working perfectly right now. They even, you know, put themselves in a little dangerous position there. 1v1 scenario, but they're still able to close it out. They win that round, and they go up 4-0.
And Paris, they're playing S&D like almost perfectly in a way. I mean, they're getting these bombs on perfect times. I mean, they're like I've been saying, they're controlling the tempo, and I don't think that Dallas has got a single first blood. I could be wrong, but that's really how it seems, at least.
I mean, when you can't get a first blood, these search and destroy rounds become very hard. One does go your way right there. Carbo's able to pick up a second as well. Great start to this round for Dallas Flat Tires. They're able to get this bomb down as well. Player 5 and player 8 going to be forced to make those retakes. Let's see what Johnson tries to do here. He's got no sight lines on everybody. Carbos and Co. They are playing this bomb site very defensively, as you should at this point. Trying to see if maybe they can get an audio cue on one of these players, but Paris Letdowns taking their time to work around the map. Johnson maybe wants to take a little bit more presence here at that bottom side area. Carbos and Co. still waiting, and you know, the longer they wait, the tougher this becomes.
Yeah, you only have, well, it's hard to see the timer right now. What, I think there's like 15 seconds left, and yeah, Johnson's gonna hop the bomb. One player left. It's Avecti. You get this. Oh, what a play!
Big plays.
Sorry, I couldn't see the timer there for a second because the stream blurred out a little bit for me, but still, beautiful plays from Avecti.
Yeah, I mean, Avecti plays that about as perfectly as he possibly could. His two teammates get taken down on that B bomb or that A bomb site, kind of the worst case scenario for Avecti there, but he makes the right choice. He plays it slow. That player jumps out. He's able to get that player off the bomb. Perfect time management from the Dallas Flat Tires, and they're able to get their first round on the board here in Search and Destroy.
Beautifully played. Now let's see how Paris is going to respond here. Looks like that B is the play here for now. One person in position right now. It's Atrocity, so who's going to be positioned top AC. Slows down Johnson, but they know exactly where he's at now. And now backup coming in for Dallas, but it doesn't matter to BJ Davis.
PJ Davis picks up one, Flub Season picks up another, and now the rest of the Dallas Flat Tires find themselves stranded inside of the A side of the map. They got so much room to work to go through to get toward this bomb site. Flub Season taking some real estate over here at that top grill area. Now it's going to be Sky and Carbos just trying to make something happen. Flub Season does spot one. The second one gets spotted as well. And they get taken down swiftly. Paris Letdowns pick up right where they left off before that round. And they go up 5-1 here. I mean, this map is all Paris Letdowns here. And if you're Paris, this is a great momentum boost for your team after a tough map 1 loss.
And even so, after Dallas got that first blood, it just didn't really seem to matter. Like, Paris just continued to, they didn't slow down at all for that B push. And I don't think that, I didn't see who exactly it was. I believe it was Atrocities, who was the guy over towards AC. I don't even believe that he was expecting it. I'm sure, I mean, just natural human reaction. Like, you know, you get one kill, you think the rest of the team's going to slow down. They absolutely did not.
Absolutely, Brendy, totally agree with you there. I mean, it's exactly what you expect, but you don't get it. And, I mean, that's kind of what Paris Letdowns. Oh, no. Oh, no. The team nade comes in. And now we're in a 3v1 scenario. Atrocities probably the last place he wants to be right now in a 1v2. But, you know, one thing to say is you've got a lot of time on your side if you are Atrocities.
Got a lot of time, but not a whole lot of information to work with, as your entire team is over towards the soccer area. But neither of the Paris Letdown players are near there, so he basically is going off of zero information at the moment, and he's taken down. So that was a beautiful, beautiful map from Paris.
Yeah, I mean, a fantastic way to even the score here in the series. I mean, you know, you felt like these teams were evenly matched in so many ways when it came to that map 1 hardpoint. At 1-1 right now, both teams showing their, you know, upsides, showing their downsides, and, you know, I feel like this map 3 really going to be the swing here in the series.
I really think so, and Jake, we know how this map goes. It'll all come down to who's winning their gunfights, especially if you're on defense. It's gonna matter so greatly, because if you're winning those gunfights on defense, you can set up that spawn trap perfectly, and there is nothing that the offense is going to be able to do.
Yeah, one plus side you have for Paris Letdowns is you still have this player BJ Davis alive in that art area, so you have some room to work with, have like a safety net. Ooh, if you are the Paris Letdowns, big kill out of BJ there. Staying alive here at this top doubles area. They do finally sniff him out, so you do get some progress going on that A point, but you don't have a lot of teammates around you if you are player 3. That was going to be Flub Season. Gianson does get taken down as well. Now, Paris Letdowns, they really are finding themselves in that demon trap that we talk about oh so often. We got Carbos holding the right. You got Sky on the left, and now it just becomes like, how do you get out?
Well, right now they still have Gianson in the maps area. I'm not sure if Carbos knows he's there. Well, he does now, and he's able to take him out easily. But yeah, this is where things can kind of start getting ugly. I mean, a little bit of resistance coming in from Paris right now, and they did actually manage to get one take on the A, which kind of sounds a little silly, but that one tick could actually be crucial on a map like this, where there's not a whole lot of opportunity to get a lot of breaks.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, Paris don't do a bad job of breaking out of there whatsoever. They break out of there somewhat quickly. The life count isn't too bad right now. You got one tick onto A. You might make it 2 with those kills from Clam Chowder. He sneaks on into that B point. He's able to get that second tick. And, you know, Brendy, I mean, like you just said, every tick matters here on Albagra Fortress. I mean, if you're able to get a singular A point, that might really put you ahead in the grand scheme of things here.
It really does, and now Dallas, they're going to slow down a little bit, and there's the entire bottom lane of the map is going to be left open. I wonder if there's going to be any sort of play over towards that area, but it doesn't even matter. If Flub Season is going to go on a 3-piece, I mean, solid plays out of him, just leaving the door open for his team. The rest of his team rushes right in. The art area is covered. There's 2 players for Paris right now on point. I say stack the point, words of Jims, but they got 2 ticks on the beat right now. Are they going to be able to get it?
I don't know if Dallas is going to be able to sneak on in, and they aren't able to. The first round offense goes the way of the Paris Letdowns, and I mean, Brendy, when they say flip the script, I feel like this is exactly what they mean.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it seemed like that Dallas, at least for a few moments, actually had the spawn trap set up pretty well. I mean, it wasn't like a heavy spawn trap where it was impossible to break out, but they they were kind of trapping Paris back there for a little while, and then it just takes one break and in an amazing, well, a really nice play out of Flub season to basically leave the lanes open for the rest of his team, and all of a sudden there's 3 in the point and there's 4 down for Dallas. I mean, not a whole lot they could have done there.
Yeah, now if you're Dallas, you got to try to replicate exactly what Paris was just able to do, and we know how hard that can be. You already got Flubsy in that mass area. He does get taken down, so big kill out of Carbos there. Atrocities finds his way onto that A point. Atrocities, he also stays alive here. Clam Chowder, though, with a big 3-piece to really open things up for the Paris Letdowns. Now we got a pincer attack on the hill right here. Clam Chowder's able to get another one. Doing a great job. I mean, he's got a cruise and he's on a 4 streak. He might rewrap these streaks, Brendy. When you got a lockdown AR player like this, it could be so hard to get out of that spawn trap.
Oh man, he is on a merciless right now, and he is not in any position to be stopping. This man is on a 12 streak right now. I cannot believe that. And I mean, it is Fortress control. I mean, you do get a chance for the kills to rack up, but I mean, it doesn't even matter. I mean, look at this. Look at this play out of Paris. I mean, man, they are looking hot right now.
They are looking to get the upper hand in the series, and they're showing exactly why. I mean, the one silver lining for Dallas is you sneak Carbos into that art area, but there he goes, the Demon Trap in yet again. And only 30 seconds left to go. And you got BJ Davis and Flub Season working these lanes. I mean, it's just so hard. Carbos gets spotted as well. The snakes are in. He gets taken down. You got 2 cruise missiles to your name. Another kill for BJ Davis. I mean, the Paris Letdowns are firing on all cylinders right now.
I just question. I'm really questioning that. Like, why is this map in rotation? Why? I mean, when you can get a killer spawn trap like this, I mean, it's insane. I mean, I even watched this in the CDL circuit, and it doesn't seem like that it's this crazy. But man, I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, very interesting map, no doubt about it. I think interesting would be the way that I would put it, Brendy, because there's just no other way to put it. Paris Letdowns, they find themselves up 2-0. They've got 2 cruise missiles to their name. You got BJ Davis currently on a 9 streak, and you got Clam Chowder 17-5. I mean, your 2 all-star players for Paris Letdowns are absolutely turning up when they need it most. I mean, you got to think, like, this second half of the series, Paris Letdowns team is looking fantastic.
They absolutely are, and we've seen 2 double-digit streaks so far. Right now, BJ Davis is on a 10 streak. Man, he's gonna end up doubling up on his cruise. Honestly, if you're him at this point, you may as well just go ahead and call it in. You'll get it right back. But man, crazy plays right now coming in out of Paris. They were getting that double stack going in for a moment, at least one take on to B. And I believe, for whatever reason, if Paris loses this round, that basically means that they are guaranteed defense. So nice plays out of Paris, even if Dallas is able to pull this out on these next 2 rounds, they'll be looking really good and going in round 5.
Yeah, I mean, Paris, this is exactly the position you want to be in if you are the Paris Letdowns. I mean, not a better spot to be in on Fortress control. You know, we've seen some 2-0 leads get blown, but you know, when you get that round 5 defense, it can just be so easy to win that. It's like, you know, you put yourselves in a position to win it, and Paris, they're doing exactly that right now. They are getting put in somewhat of a spawn trap. Let's see if they can kind of sneak their way out. They already get those 2 ticks onto B. I think you're going to want to maybe tackle that site first if you want that extra minute on the clock. Sky, though, he gets himself on a 7 streak. He gets a cruise missile to his name, but this round isn't over yet, Brendy. We got Johnson trying to make his way over to B. Just waiting for his teammates. Player 3 might be able to stop the clock there on that A site. The cruise comes in. It doesn't get anything. Johnson sneaks his way onto B, but he's got no teammates with him.
Yeah, he's kind of left out of position right here compared to the rest of his team, which actually could spell trouble for Paris. There's only 10 seconds left. It looks like Dallas is going to wipe out most of the team. Only 1 player left. It's BJ Davis. He's taken out. It doesn't look like Paris is going to be able to get to the A point in time.
Looks like they will not. I think you're right, Brendy. I think Paris Letdowns do secure that round 5 defense if we do get there. Dallas Flat Tires are really going to have to turn up in this map if they want to win it. You know, I think the one thing you can say is if you are able to win this map, you know, you put your pedal to the metal, say you win this map, if you're Dallas Flat Tires, I mean, that is some insane momentum going into that map for Embassy. So if they can do it here, I mean, that would really put them in the driver's seat for the rest of the series here. But for the time being, we got Paris Letdowns up 2-1. We're on the defensive end, and let's see if they can do, if they can replicate what they made happen the first time.
Yeah, in Dallas, they have a lot of work to do because they have to win 2 straight offenses. And so far, this is a pretty good start. Getting a nice 3-wipe right off the bat, which is not easy to do on offense. Unfortunately, excuse me, not on offense, on defense. Wow, I am I am messing up. I apologize, but nice opening plays out of Dallas, I'll say that.
The cruise missile is coming in. Think it's player 8 with it. That's going to be Sky. He's able to take down Johnson. It does open up the left side of the map somewhat, but BJ Davis is here to maybe shut down the space you created with that cruise missile. It's going to be a 2-pronged attack onto this B point. Gets stifled very early on. Avecti does a great job waiting for that player, top doubles. And now you get a 3 down if you're Dallas Flat Tires. You have some room to run onto that A point there, but Clam Chowder is playing Overwatch from the double doors area, and you break out of the spawn trap for a moment, and you're right back into it.
Yeah, nothing that Dallas is really able to do right now. The only break right now is going to be coming in from Arches, which doesn't really matter too much because it seems like Dallas is still a little bit staggered right now, so they're not even putting up very far. And now Clam Chowder, they're slowing it down as well, and now that monster spawn trap is really starting to look ugly.
It looks like the Dallas Flat Tires have cut their losses here in the map 3. Paris Letdowns able to take one home, and I mean, once you win those first 2 rounds of the game, it's really hard to come back from that if you're the Dallas Flat Tires.
It really is, and now Paris, they have all the momentum in the world. They looked a little rough on that first hard point, but now they have a chance to redeem it.
The Call of Duty Rec League map 4 of the series has commenced. Paris Letdowns at match point here for the series, and Dallas Flat Tires trying to buy themselves a lifeline in this one right here, trying to send this to a map 5. Paris Letdowns, though, they've had so much dominance here in this map 2 and 3 of the series. Let's see if Dallas Flat Tires can kind of harness some of that hard point energy that they had in the map 1.
In Paris, they got some pretty interesting spawns there where they were kind of just running over towards that Godhead area. It could have made an interesting spawn flip. Spawn flip. But Paris, they are able to get those P2 spawns for right now. So they were able to successfully do that. So nice plays out of Paris, but it's Dallas. They have the majority of the P1 time, so they got the early lead.
Yeah, and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, Brendy. Clam Shadow with a big 2-piece, but, you know, a lot of these P1s, you don't want to give up so much time on them because these P2s are so important. It's the same here on a map like Embassy. This P2, very powerful. We see a lot of people kind of get a huge chunk of time here, and while this is Embassy, it's kind of like the bow cage of this game, I would say. You know, you don't want to give up so much time on that P1 because, you know, what could have been a potential 40, 50-point lead now boils down to only around a 30-point lead if you're able to get every single second on this P2 here, which, you know, what you can say is Paris Letdowns are looking solid to get every second of this P2 right now. Dallas Flat Tires have rotated, but, you know, you got to question, like, should we play for the P2 so hard?
Well, it is an interesting play because I think there's like a negative stigma around getting the P1 time because it especially in recent games like the P1 like you mentioned bow cage earlier, but in this map as well where the P1 is just basically wide open and you can die from just about any angle. But a lot of teams like they don't really take advantage of that because they kind of assume that like since it's that wide open like there's got to be somebody else on the other team's gonna get that guy or something like that. I'm just gonna focus on spawns, but then it turns out the guy dies, and he's got all the other guy has all this P1 time. It's like, wow, they've got 30, 35 points on this hill that's smack dab in the middle of the map with no walls around it.
I mean, yeah, it's very interesting, Brady, no doubt about it. But now, Dallas Flat Tires, they get a good amount of time on that P3, but, you know, we see another rotation coming. Paris Letdowns are going to be looking for that P4. Sky, the only player to really try to push that at the time, does get taken down, but we got two more players trying to sneak on in. Flub Season is able to pick up the cargoes, but Atrocities trying to make something happen in the back of the map. Flub Season runs right on at him, but the rest of the Dallas Flat Tires, they're quick to react. They're pushing through that tennis side. They try to get on with Atrocities, but as they go down, Atrocities finds himself alone yet again.
Yeah, and there's not really a whole lot that he can do either because Dallas, they're not spawning with him. They are spawning way out. They're spawning over towards that back kitchen area, which is not helpful at all. And Paris, they're going to retake the lead here despite the fact that Dallas actually had a really solid P3. And now they're having a solid P4 of their own as well. Only one player is going to attempt to contest this, but he's taken out quickly. And now BJ Davis, he is on a 5 streak. I mean, man, this Paris team, they can really get streaky really fast, it seems like.
Yeah, Paris, they have that firepower ability. We didn't necessarily see it come to fruition in that map 1, but they showed us exactly in those map 2s, in that map 3, just how good they can be at times. We're seeing BJ Davis do it right here. We saw Clam Chowder pop off a couple of times, but here we go, Dallas Flat Tires. They're on a good rotation yet again. Atrocity, pretty sure he got a wallbang kill on the Clam Chowder right there. Flub Season gets taken down, and now you can accrue a good amount of time here on this P5. And this is a P5 that people kind of know as Mixie, but Dallas Flat Tires is doing a great job of making it a money hill for them.
Yeah, I mean, they're holding all the angles perfectly. They're really only having like 1 or 2 people in the hill at the time and just having everyone else just play the game of angles. But Paris, they are able to get in right now, but that was a really solid start to the hill. It looks like that as long as things kind of stay the way they are, this hill is basically going to be a 50-50 split, which you'd actually enjoy if you're Paris, as to not give Dallas any more points that they already need. But I would like to see Paris maybe focus on this P1 a little bit more. You know, you can try to worry about P2 spawns as well, but I mean, you don't really want to let Dallas, you know, get a whole lot of time here.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if Paris can pick up some P1 time here that they didn't get last time around. I mean, you can still go for that rotation, but, you know, Dallas, they have a good control of this bottom PD and the top PD area. Let's see what Flub Season can make of it. He does get one, but he gets traded out by Avecti. BJ Davis does hop on that point. He's in a good spot to fight these players, but a nice 2-pronged attack out of the Dallas Flat Tires to hold it down. That's a big 3 down. You flip those spawns. Now Carbos finds himself bottom gas, and Flub Season's ready for the push. He picks up a big 2-piece, and this is only extending the lead that Paris had.
This is exactly what we were talking about. This is a great play from Paris. I mean, they got the P1 time, and they had the spawns they had them for a while. I don't know. Dallas is getting a little aggressive here. I think that Paris may have lost it, but it was a really nice, basically a really nice set of plays there to get a bunch of P1 time and kind of focus at P2 at the same time.
We got a streak coming in. BJ Davis with the cruise missile trying to pick up Avecti in the back. He's able to get him, and now Carbos finds himself all alone on the point, trying to take on a war of Paris Letdowns players, but they're able to sneak him out. And, you know, that's exactly the type of play you want to happen behind a cruise missile. I mean, used to perfection if you're the Paris Letdowns.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, you got that third person with the cruise missile. You only had to worry about one more player, and he does the rest of the Paris Letdowns has a perfectly good job of finding him. And now they got that early break. They're going to get the majority of that time. And for the rest of these hills, Paris, they really only have to get these 50-50 hills. And if they do that, I mean, they're gonna be running away with it. But well, I'm sure they'd like to pull away as soon as they possibly can. But like I said, just worry about rotations, get the breaks if you need to, and if you're Paris, you'll be fine.
I mean, Paris, they find a break just like that. I mean, Sky, he's the last one alive, and he gets taken down. I mean, it just breaks down so quick. If you're the Dallas Flat Tires, you get a good rotation to the hill, but, the dominoes fall out of your favor You do have a push onto the hill right now. Vecti takes down BJ Davis, but, you know, that was a hill. You know, if you could have gotten back into this game real quick if you were the Dallas Flat Tires, but now, you know, if you get every second here, you're still going to be down around 30 points. Paris Letdowns, they play that fantastic. They're not able to get, you know, as much time as maybe they would have wanted here, but, you know, the new rotation to hill is kind of favoring you, but Atrocities trying to make something happen here in the back.
Ooh, and he actually might be able to make something happen here. I think Dallas with that suicide nade, just they were able to secure the spawns, I believe. But now here comes all of Paris. They're going to be nading this hill hard because Dallas, they don't have those trophies down quite yet. But even so, it looks like the push is coming in from the back as well. So Paris, if they can get you know, a majority of this hill time, they'll be looking to close it out here soon.
Agreed, Brendy. Agreed. You still have a lot of time to break here if you are the Paris Letdowns, and you have a great pinch onto the hill right now. Looks like BJ Davis is going to be the first person to make a push onto the hill. He doesn't see that player laying down behind the little seats in the bottom embassy. He puts some shots in, he gets taken down. But Atrocities is here. He picks up one. Looking for a second. He finds it. And a great way to keep the Paris Letdowns off of that hill. You can find the lead here, and I mean, a huge turnaround for the Dallas Flat Tires, you know, in a very rough spot after that P2, but they chain it to the P3 and they chain it to the P4. And look, they're already rotating here to the P5. They're getting some kills behind it. It's going to be player 2. He does get taken down. So Paris Letdowns, if you're going to want to win this game, this is the hill. You kind of have to start to shut the door.
Absolutely, Jake. That was a money hill onto that P4 for Dallas, doing a great job. And now Paris, they're going to be looking to get a money hill of their own, as there's 4 players down now for Dallas, and this is not good. If you're Dallas, you got time to slow down and make a couple pushes here. You don't need to be making these staggered pushes.
I mean, the pushes are coming in, but the trades are happening quite well. Carbos is going to chow, but BJ Davis is ready. He's ready for the second as well. He picks up the cruise missile. Only 10 more seconds to go. It's going to be all up to Atrocities. He gets taken down. So does Carbos. Sky trying to fly on in, and that might do it. The Paris Letdowns move off in the playoffs as they win the quarterfinal series 3-1.
Man, and beautiful plays. Like we said, Paris, they did a beautiful job after that rough first map. They were able to bounce back with a dominant win on that S&D. I really think that after that